The Law of One, Book 1, Part 6, Session 3, continued. Questioner: I am reminded of the statement, approximately, that if you had faith to move a mountain, the mountain would move. This seems to be approximately what you were saying, that if you're fully aware of the Law of One, you would be able to do these things. Is that correct? I am Ra. The vibratory distortion of sound faith is perhaps one of the stumbling blocks between those of what we may call the infinite path and those of the finite proving understanding. You are precisely correct in your understandings of the congruency of faith and intelligent infinity. However, one is a spiritual term, the other more acceptable, perhaps, to the conceptual framework distortions of those who seek with measure and pen. Questioner: Then, if an individual is totally informed with respect to the Law of One and lives the Law of One, then such things as the building of the pyramids by direct mental effort would be commonplace. Is that what I am to understand? I am Ra. You are incorrect in that there is a distinction between the individual power through the Law of One and the combined or societal memory complex mind-body-spirit understanding of the Law of One. In the first case, only the one individual, purified of all flaws, could move a mountain. In the case of mass understanding of unity, each individual may contain an acceptable amount of distortion, and yet the mass mind could move mountains. The progress is normally from the understanding which you now seek to a dimension of understanding which is governed by the laws of love and which seeks the laws of light. Those who are vibrating with the law of light seek the Law of One. Those who vibrate with the Law of One seek the law of foreverness. We cannot say what is beyond this dissolution of the unified self with all that there is, for we still seek to become all that there is, and still are we Ra. Thus our paths go onward. Questioner: Was the pyramid then built by the mutual action of many? I am Ra. The pyramids which were thought built were constructed thought forms created by our social memory complex. Questioner: Then the rock was created in place rather than moved from someplace else. Is that correct? I am Ra. We built with everlasting rock the Great Pyramid, as you call it. Other of the pyramids were built with stone moved from one place to another. Questioner: What is everlasting rock? Ra. I am Ra. If you can understand the concept of thought forms, you will realize that the thought form is more regular in its distortion than the energy fields created by the materials in the rock, which has been created through thought form. From thought to finite energy and beingness in your, shall we say, distorted reflection of the level of the thought form. May we answer you in any more helpful way? Questioner: This is rather trivial, but I was wondering why the pyramid was built with many blocks rather than creating the whole thing as one form created at once. I am Ra. There is a law which we believe to be one of the more significant primal distortions of the Law of One. That is the law of confusion. You have called this the law of free will. We wish to make a healing machine, or time-space ratio complex, which was as efficacious as possible. However, we did not desire to allow the mystery to be penetrated by the peoples in such a way that we became worshipped as builders of a miraculous pyramid. Thus it appears to be made, not thought. Questioner: Well, then you speak of the pyramid, the Great Pyramid, I assume, as primarily a healing machine, and also you spoke of it as a device for initiation. Are these one and the same concept? I am Ra. They are part of one complex of love, light, intent, sharing. To use the healing properly, it was important to have a purified and dedicated channel or energizer for the love light of the infinite Creator to flow through. Thus, the initiatory method was necessary to prepare the mind, body, and the spirit for service in the Creator's work. The two are integral. Questioner: Does the shape of the pyramid have a function in the initiation process? I am Ra. This is a large question. We feel that we shall begin and ask you to reevaluate and ask further at a later session. This somewhat, shall we say, informative point. To begin, there are two main functions of the pyramid in relation to the initiatory procedures. One has to do with the body. Before the body can be initiated, the mind must be initiated. This is the point at which most adepts of your present cycle find their mind-body-spirit complexes distorted from. When the character and personality that is the true identity of the mind has been discovered, the body then must be known in each and every way. Thus, the various functions of the body need understanding and control with detachment. The first use of the pyramid, then, is the going down into the pyramid for purposes of deprivation of sensory input, so that the body may, in a sense, be dead and another life begin. We advise at this time any necessary questions and a fairly rapid ending of this session. Have you any query at this time space? Questioner. The only question is there anything that we have done wrong or that we could do to make the instrument more comfortable? I am Ra. We scanned this instrument. This instrument has been much aided by the precautions. We suggest only some attention to the neck, which seems, in this body distortion, to be distorted in the area of strength-weakness. More support, therefore, to the neck area may be of aid. Questioner. Should we have the instrument drink the water from the chalice behind her head, or should we have her drink from another glass after we charge it with love? I am Ra. That and only that chalice shall be the most beneficial, as the virgin material living in the chalice accepts, retains, and responds to the love vibration activated by your beingness. I am Ra. I will now leave this group rejoicing in the power and peace of the one Creator, Adonai.